You thought you ate when you posted that duet video, and actually you got ate up, okay, because you had to delete it. You got ratioed. No one agreed with you, okay? It was embarrassing. You got ran off the internet because she's not posted now in over a week. I have zero tolerance for people who think they are better than other people because of their follower count. You are a piece of to me. I will never see you the same way. I cannot stand it. It is so disturbing and so disgusting to me. I just don't think I'll ever get tired of seeing influencers claim that everyone's jealous of them. There's a reason why you deleted this video, spoiler alert. It's because you're wrong. It's because you're out of touch. People think you're boring. So it's recently come to my attention that people find NYC influencers really boring, which kind of amazes me actually, because I really didn't think I'd see the day where people would actually get sick of seeing the same influencers do the same morning routine of the same Pilates class with their morning matcha, followed by a sponsored skincare routine, and ending the day by writing in their journal. I mean, how could anybody get sick of watching that? Well, apparently people are, and the NYC influencers who have been called boring are panicking. I've actually never seen a response like this before ever in my life. The only thing that's not boring about this is the drama that followed very soon after a video went viral where basically this girl called out select NYC influencers as being extremely boring carbon copies of each other. So let's watch that video, shall we? So this is from a TikTok user named Martini Feeney, and she made a video with the caption, "I'm so bored by all these NYC influencers, LOL." And as you can see, it got quite a lot of traction. It has 150,000 likes. And at the time of making this video, I would like to also point out that she only had about 200 or so followers. So obviously something that she says in this video strikes a chord with the masses, because boy, did it take off.
All right, guys, I'm just gonna say it. I hate all of the New York influencers. I think that they're boring as f, and they're all carbon copies of one another. They all wear the same exact bracelet. They all have the same exact hand chain that someone else influenced them to get. Yeah, they all look like they shop on Revolve. They're all just like basic skinny, but they're skinny and pretty, so stuff looks cute on them, but boring. No hate. They just bore the f out of me. Does anyone else agree? Like, I feel like they should be the influencees, not the influencers. I don't know. Not even the New York ones, just like all the, like, these girls. They all get panic attacks. They all shop on Revolve. They all like, yeah, boring. Let me know if anyone agrees.
What's interesting about this video is that without even naming a single creator, no one was named, nobody was called out specifically, people in the comments immediately knew who she was talking about and started to clock the tea in the comments. So let me read you some of these. Somebody said, "They all start with Pilates, then get matcha, and then get ready for an event later that night." 42,000 likes. Their personalities are skincare and cleaning, 12,000 likes. Pilates, make coffee, journal, facial/self-care activity, some posts with sponsored and linked products and/or engagement post, repeat, LMAO. So calling out the daily routines of these people, like it's literally all the same. So immediately people saw this and were like kind of getting an idea of who exactly she was talking about, because obviously there's no way that she's talking about all New York City influencers. It's just not possible. There's a lot of very interesting NYC influencers that show very cool stuff. They have cool content, cool sense of style, fashion stuff. They go to cool restaurants. By virtue of living in New York City, you have such a great jumping off point. So to be this boring, it's truly a feat. I have to be honest, okay? Somebody else commented, "Influencer culture in NYC makes zero sense because part of what makes NYC cool is the authenticity and individuality. Having so many carbon copies is phony." So yeah, a lot of people agreed with this post. And I actually agree with this comment as well. So it said, "There's nothing wrong with going to Pilates and the fun drink. It's fun. It's like men in the gym / running, surfing, sports, etc. What's weird is they're all posting the same thing, products with no other substance." And somebody follows that up by saying, "Yeah, she didn't say it was wrong. She said these influencers are boring, and they are. Pilates and drinking doesn't sound like fun to me." So I think this is kind of an interesting take on it, because the truth is that being called boring is a very tame criticism to receive. And there's nothing really wrong with being boring, but I think what people are kind of zeroing in on here is the product placements that are in these very redundant morning routines. And like the reason why they're carbon copies and the reason why they're so boring is because all they're doing is like selling stuff to people and to their audience. And it's kind of like all of this, you know, consumption content. And I think by virtue of the fact that that is a lot of their content, it's objectively pretty boring to watch. I mean, as a viewer, do I really want to watch, you know, sponsored stuff over and over and over? No, not really. And do I want to watch the same thing over and over? Not really. You know, I think what's interesting as well is that a lot of people that are probably fans of these exact content creators that she's likely referencing would also have to probably agree that a lot of these people are boring. And, you know, once again, is there anything wrong with that? No, but I think it's just the observation which kind of opened up a can of worms to get a huge discussion going of why are these people boring and what is so boring about this content and why are they all the same? And I think that this comment left here by a pretty popular creator named Lexi Hidalgo is kind of the first splinter into what cracked this case wide open, because immediately, you know, like I said, no one was named in this video. Nobody was called out specifically. Influencers were mad. Okay, immediately they were pressed. And this girl actually has a decent following. And I just have to give you a side note as well, because it's just ironic. Back when TikTok was going to be banned, okay, it was banned for 14 hours. A lot of people were doing this trend where they were like, well, now that TikTok's gonna be banned, I'm gonna share a secret with you. And her secret, when she thought the app was going away forever, was that she faked a lot of her morning routines and they were basically like fabricated. She said that she was doing workouts that she said that she didn't actually do. She said that she was drinking coffee. She did like this coffee talk series and she wasn't actually drinking the coffee, she said. And then a day later, she like tried to run it back and was like, no, that's not what I meant. Like, I gave the coffee to my mom. I'm like, sure, girl. It's contrived. Anyway, she commented on this pretty upset. Okay. Once again, nobody was named, and especially not her. And she said, girl, to be honest, you don't need to follow them. No need to be such a proud, open hater like this. She should have just kept her mouth shut, because she got ratioed in the comments. Somebody replied, Lexi, she is a consumer. She is your audience while you are an influencer yourself. Your audience is allowed to voice her opinion on what she's noticing. So like I mentioned earlier, no one was specifically named or called out in this video, but people started to speculate who this might be about because they fit the description pretty accurately. And one name that kept coming up was this influencer right here named Acquired Style. She has 1.5 million followers. She's actually a twin. So this is her twins account. She has 470,000 followers and they live in NYC. They go to Pilates every morning. They drink their matchas and they do sponsored posts. Okay, so they kind of fit the description to a T. They've got the hand chains. They shop on Revolve. It's all there. So yeah, this is them at a fashion event. So they kind of do like lifestyle fashion-ish content. They do like get ready with me's, they do morning routines, stuff like that. That's pretty much their content. Another person that kept coming up in the comments was this girl who's part of their friend group. So this is Hallie Kate, 1.4 million followers. She does similar stuff. Pilates, lifestyle, fashion.
Hi guys, here was a realistic day in my life living in New York City as a 24-year-old full-time content creator. Started my morning with an 8 a.m. workout at Physique 57. Between meetings, I had a water boy because I needed some extra hydration after that workout and that tattoo laser appointment.
So that's kind of a glimpse into that kind of content if you're not familiar with her. The last person that I kept seeing come up in the comments a lot, you know, also once again, part of this friend group is this girl named Kit Keenan. And she has 303,000 followers on TikTok. She does the same stuff as the other people. Okay, you may recognize her from being on The Bachelor.
I'm the most anxious traveler until I get on the plane. Like, I have travel anxiety, not plane anxiety, if that makes sense. So my solution was to kill my nerves with champagne at the lounge and then hydrate as much as possible once I got on the plane. Look at this room. I actually thought I was dreaming. It's so Parisian, so beautiful. I'm here for the weekend with DSW and I'm so excited. Beyond grateful and can't wait for what's to come.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them have like the same mannerisms. They all look the same as well. They all go on the same brand trips. They're part of the same friend group. They do the same videos. They're almost indistinguishable from each other, in my opinion, like just as like a casual viewer, that they sometimes pop up on my For You page. Like I'm not actually following any of them. But so yeah, basically these were kind of who people were speculating that these videos were about, but we didn't have to wonder for long, because if the shoe fits, the influencers will wear it. And they will probably then return it the next day with the tags on. So this video was posted and then deleted after it was getting some negative feedback. But basically, one of the twins, Acquired Style posted a video to her main account where she was reacting to the NYC Influencers Are Boring video, okay, the original video. And it was a pretty snarky response. You know, once again, no one was named, but she just assumed it was about her because I think that these people think that the world revolves around them. And, you know, I have to point out once again, the girl on the right had 200 followers at the time of making this video. It wasn't really getting picked up into the mainstream until these girls started to freak out. Yeah, let's watch this video because it was not received very well.
All right, guys, I'm just gonna say it. I hate all of the New York influencers. I think that they're boring as and they're all carbon copies of one another. They all wear the same exact bracelet. They all have the same exact handchain that someone else influenced them to get. Yeah, they all look like they shop on Revolve. They're all just like basic skinny, but they're skinny and pretty, so stuff looks cute on them, but boring. No hate. They just bore the out of me.
Immediate reaction is the truth hurts. There's no reason to respond to this video where you were not named or called out directly in this way. Also, it's just like not funny. I think that she thought she was being hilarious by doing this, and it's just like not funny to anyone else but maybe her friend group who has a convoluted sense of humor. Honestly, I think she made this video because she thought that her audience would agree with her and maybe like go attack the original girl or like call her out as being like a hater. You know, I think you're not responding to this unless you have a deep insecurity that deep down you are boring. And deep down, you know, your audience knows it too. Maybe you think you're not putting in a lot of effort. Maybe you know you're selling people too much crap and, you know, doing the same stuff as everybody else. Maybe she knows that deep down. I think the answer is yes. You have to ask, why are they so offended? Her responding to this actually had the opposite effect that I think she hoped it would have, which is to get everybody on her side and be like, oh my God, she's not boring. What are you talking about? Everybody, including her audience, pretty much agreed. Girl, you're boring. So our first warning sign that this was hitting home was actually in the comments of the original NYC Influencers Are Boring video, because somebody actually tagged Acquired Style and said, especially you. You know those people that are boring? Especially you. And she replied to that comment, I hate all NYC influencers in quotation marks. No hate though. Make up your mind, love. So she's pissed, okay? Once again, I just can't get over the fact no one was named. No one was named. Somebody said driving your minions to a girl with 189 followers is wild behavior, which I think is just, yeah, it is. Her twin is actually in the same comment thread that barely anybody's in there. And she said this girl is the one who made the video spreading hate, but somehow Bridget is the one in the wrong. That's wild. What are you doing in the comment section? Just, it's embarrassing, okay? It's embarrassing. Spreading hate. Girl, no one named you. Just stop. So they're pressed. They're big mad right here. The Hallie Kate girl commented on the duet and she said, I was crying at this. No one found this funny but her friend group. But this is my favorite comment of the year. Someone commented, hit dogs holler. Another NYC influencer down here, Audrey, she said no hate, started the video legitimately saying, I hate. They're so mad. And it's like, really? We're mad about this? Like, I can't even imagine a world I'd care about this. By the way, a lot of this got deleted, so shout out to the Reddit because that's where the receipts lie and that's where the receipts live. An owner of an influencer brand commented, I'm sorry, it's just tacky. Like, you're a business owner and you're commenting on like internet drama. Why do you even care about this? Like, it's just so crazy. Chelsea Park, who owns Park, and she sells $150 overpriced sweatshirts that look like a funnel. Awful. They're awful. She commented, no hate, clearly being sarcastic. Here we go with Lexi Hidalgo again. Wasn't even mentioned. I don't even think she lives in NYC and she's so upset, okay? So upset. She wants to be involved desperately. And she goes, what a horrible person. Horrible person for having an opinion that's like literally so tame and didn't even mention anybody and she's a horrible person. Like you're insane. I'm sorry. Another overpriced influencer brand owner, this is now the owner of Dairy Boy, Paige Lorenz. She commented, she sounds so nice, obviously being sarcastic once again. These people are only in here because their brand would literally die if it weren't for these influencers just all like pretending that it's the greatest thing that they've ever worn in their life and like, you know, influencing their followers to buy a camo print sweat set for $100. There's a reason why they're in here, because they're financially incentivized to be team influencer and go to bat for them, even when it's not justified, because everybody with a brain can say, oh, actually you guys are very boring, and that's an accurate read. And then this is probably one of my more favorite comments, because the irony is insane. And I'm going to mention this one more time. No one was named in this video, okay? And Kit Keenan comments, I've never been disliked by someone I wanted to trade places with, which is really rich considering she's a massive Nepo baby. Yeah, her mom is Cynthia Rowley, the fashion designer, luxury fashion designer. No shit. You wouldn't want to trade places with somebody because you literally hit the lottery. You're so out of touch. Like, actually, this pisses me off so bad because, once again, did she mention anyone by name? No. And you're already saying, I've never been disliked by somebody I want to trade places with. How do you know she's disliking you unless you fit the bill perfectly? That's right. Stay mad. Stay mad. This is so embarrassing. Actual Nepo babies acting like this. And then we had another influencer crash out. So, you know, everyone just wants to get involved, apparently. So this person, Carly Weinstein, she's also an NYC influencer. Coincidentally, surprise, surprise, she does the same exact content as everybody else. So she made a video to her 516,000 followers, and this is what she had to say.
I woke up this morning to so many like hateful videos on International Women's Day, and I was so shook by it. I scroll on my For You page these days and I literally see so many grown women so bitter commenting on other women's pages. I don't know if they feel like they're entitled to do that or if they're just jealous, but I think maybe us as a society, we've gotten too comfortable letting our jealousy and our ugly feelings be shown.
I just don't think I'll ever get tired of seeing influencers claim that everyone's jealous of them whenever they're faced with the slightest amount of criticism. Girl, not everybody wants to be you. And just because somebody accurately criticizes you, which other people were agreeing with massively, okay, you were getting ratioed. There's a reason why you deleted this video, spoiler alert. It's because you're wrong. It's because you're out of touch. People think you're boring, and it's a tame criticism. It's not even like something that's that bad. And you're saying everyone's jealous of you. Not everybody wants to be an influencer. Some people just simply want to be entertained, and they want to be entertained well. I can't, it's just so out of touch. It's so entitled. It's just like, ew, I get so turned off whenever influencers do this and they like go on this like, oh my God, everyone's so bitter and jealous of me. No, they're not. Sorry.
Online, because we use it as a means of like, if we hate on someone else, maybe I'll get clout, and then therefore other people hop on the bandwagon with me, and then I feel better about myself because we're all hating on this other person. Honestly, this goes back to preschool. If you have nothing nice to say, don't say it. It's also, I'm not even saying it for my sake. I'm saying it for your sake.
Oh, thank you, out of touch influencer. You're saying it for my sake. Oh, thank you. Because that's what everybody wants right now, is to have influencers preach at them. Yes. Just stop. Okay, please, let's stop. Let's stop this. Let's stop trying to veil any type of criticism that we receive as hate, okay? They love to do that. They love to play the victim. They're like, everyone's jealous. Everybody's hating. They're just haters. They're trying to get clout from me. No, it's a valid criticism. And nobody was named. What's the big deal? Unless you actually believe that about yourself and you know that to be true, which you do.
Your life is going to be miserable if you use your days and your minutes and your hours and even your seconds to hate on someone else. That is bad for your mental health. That's bad for your physical health. That is bad for your life in general. I've been reading hate comments recently, like under my...
Guys, it's so bad for you to live in a world of hate. Next sentence. Guys, I've been reading the hate comments. Why? Take your own advice.
My pages, and because like I literally like to go through and respond to all my comments. And I was going through a time of...
By the way, I just have to mention, whenever people are like, I'm reading hate comments, probably those comments are not actually at all hateful. They're probably like people just mildly critiquing them or giving them feedback, and then they just automatically categorize it as this person's the enemy.
Insecurity with my own career, and I realized that it was really stunting the way that I was viewing myself and the way that I was able to show up for myself and my own success. Like I felt like I was being held back by it. And I don't know why seeing that girl's video today, seeing a video just openly hating on other women, and I see this all the time, like something shifted where I was like, oh wait, these people are trying to sabotage. Like they literally are unhappy with their own lives and they're trying to sabotage the people that are happy or are winning.
These people could have let it go and just taken it in as, oh, maybe it's time to change things up. Okay, maybe I am being a little bit boring. Maybe I just do a different morning routine. Okay, maybe I try a different drink in the morning. Maybe I go to try a new workout. All right, maybe I try something new. Maybe I try to provide more value. Maybe I try to do less sponsored posts. But no, they go, these people are sabotaging us. No, she didn't even name you.
Coming off of a night where I just got to be with people that like genuinely love and appreciate each other and are appreciative of the content that I post and feel like it's actually making a difference. It really did remind me like it costs $0 to just be a kind person and not say anything if you don't have something nice to say. Going forward, for anyone that does hate on other people's pages, you're exposing yourself as insecure and maybe potentially also a clout former. Just saying. If you see someone being insecure, send them love and light and send them on their way.
Okay, then in that case, sending you love and light, and I'm sending you on your way because this video is insecure. Okay, by virtue of the fact that you're making this video, you are insecure that you are boring.
Okay, love you guys. I'm gonna go bowl and maybe I'll do a little vlog or something. Wish me luck.
I can't even comment on that. Here's some comments. It's so funny how they've all made videos or comments about a random girl's opinion. No names were dropped. Why are they so offended? Exactly. They are all insecure as F. They can't take constructive criticism. They wouldn't last 5 seconds at a real job for that reason alone. It's sad. Yeah. So here's another comment that somebody grabbed and somebody said like, what made her think, yeah, let me record and post it. It's going to be so good. And then Acquired Style replied back, she thought she ate. Girl, you thought you ate when you posted that duet video, and actually you got ate up, okay, because you had to delete it. You got ratioed. No one agreed with you, okay? It was embarrassing. You got ran off the internet because she's not posted now in over a week. But you do the same with skinny talk vids. If it's something that upsets you personally, you make videos commenting on other people's lifestyle views. So apparently people are pointing out that she's a hypocrite. She's done this kind of stuff in the past. Somebody said, criticism doesn't translate to bitterness and jealousy, and supporting women does not mean we can't have dissenting opinions from one another. Stop using Women's Day to negate other women's feelings. Exactly. They're doing anything. They're grasping for straws at the moment. They're like, oh my, well, it's Women's Day, so you can't criticize me today. I'm safe today. Come on. What the hell's wrong with you guys? And then they're like, oh my God, guys, you're jealous and you're bitter. Oh my God, you guys are haters. You're insecure. That's the only reason you're clout farming off me. They want to be immune from criticism. That's what this all translates to. But let's think about it, okay? Because these are people that are like, you're a hater, you're a hater. But the things that they've said about the original creator, once again, 200 followers at the time of making that video, the things that they've said are way worse than what she said, calling them boring, okay? They've said that she's not a nice person. They've said that she's a hateful, miserable, jealous person. She clearly hates her life. She's attacking us. I would never want to trade places with you. Your life looks like it sucks. These are the things that they have said, okay? They have said, all in response to me calling boring. And they're trying to use it's Women's Day. Please stop. Somebody said she is entitled to say it, and she never called out a specific influencer by name. I think her video hit a nerve with you guys. She seems like a relatively happy person. It's not that deep. And she replied, she struck a nerve because people suddenly feel entitled to be so mean to influencers as if they aren't human beings with actual emotions and feelings. I think people have become a little numb to it. I mean, this is just crazy. Then she's doubling down again, tripling down, saying, however, I do think the girl completely missed the mark and came off very jealous and hateful. Hateful because she called influencers boring. That's a wild take. I think it's a very wild take because, once again, is that really being hateful? I think we need to toughen up. Okay, being called boring, if that's the worst thing that happens to you, I think you're okay. Okay, we need to get some thicker skin. This is my favorite comment that she personally left. So it says, I hate when people spin this into women hating women. LOL, as a woman, I want to be able to critique anyone, man or woman. And then she replies back, this is rich. Do it to your friends like a normal person, not to their faces, LOL. That's not normal behavior. Okay, the hypocrisy is really there here. So she's okay with women hating on other women as long as you're doing it behind their back, behind closed doors, to your friends. Because that's what normal people do. Okay, a true proponent of let's all be kind to each other. And if we have nothing nice to say, we don't say it. Remember when she said that in her video? Then don't say it. Don't even say it to your friends. But she just doesn't want it to be said out loud in front of her audience. So her audience doesn't wake up to the fact that, oh, you are actually boring. These people are right about you. You're doing this on International Women's Day, but she's right here. She's condoning the fact that, oh, you can do it as long as you're doing it to your friends. So you can talk shit about women as long as you're doing it behind closed doors. Girl, which is it? Somebody said, LMAO, be for real. Y'all harassed that girl for absolutely nothing. She def struck a nerve. She says, harassed. LOL, don't dish it out if you can't take it. Oh, didn't you delete this video? And then here's just the cherry on top of this whole discussion about Women's Day. I mean, I can't. It's just, we got to stop. Somebody commented actually on the girl that made the original NYC Influencers Are Boring video and said, but also, why'd they make it about International Women's Day, LOL? They literally harassed you and are clearly saying more off the app, which is true. I mean, they're clearly, conspiring in the background, like talking to each other, texting each other, being like, oh my God, this girl, let's get this girl. Like, let's all respond to this girl. Like, what is this girl talking about? Calling us boring. Oh my God. Okay, clearly that's happening. And the original creator commented back and said, exactly, my original video was not on International Women's Day. The video acquired style made, mocking me and encouraging girls to be mean to one another was on Women's Day. The irony, you can't even make this up, guys. You can't make it up. It's too good. So obviously this drama was starting to spiral out of control. It was never going to go anywhere. Literally, it was never going to go anywhere if these girls never responded, if they were just like, you know what? She's probably referencing me, but oh well, who cares? I'm moving on with my life. It's not that big of a deal. People are going to forget about this in 2 days anyway. If they had actually done that, which is the proper thing, right thing to do, none of this would be happening. But because they thought that they were above criticism, this video was then posted to TikTok. So this is Olivia Joan on TikTok, and allegedly she had a very negative interaction with one of these NYC boring influencers. So let's take a look at that.
Not gonna lie, ooh, my nails are so crusty. I kind of like the conversation that's being had about influencers, especially the New York City influencers, and how people are kind of like waking up and realizing that they're kind of all frauds. Granted, I know that I'm a smaller creator and I don't even think that I'm an influencer. When people ask me like what I do, I tell them I'm a photographer because that's what I want to be known for, given like I just shot for Vogue for the 5th time.
So she's a Vogue photographer. She said just shot for Vogue for the 5th time.
I still remember, this is the reason why I don't have influencer friends. Anyways, I was at a brand dinner and I was sitting across a very famous New York City influencer.
I wonder who that could be. Don't worry. All is revealed in a second.
That you guys all know and love. And before she even asks me my name, she's like, why are you here? And I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, why are you at this dinner? Like, what do you do? And I was like, oh, I'm a photographer. She goes like, no. Like, what do you do? Like, what's your niche? Like, a photographer wouldn't be invited to this dinner. And I was like, okay, yeah, well, yeah, I guess I do content. And I gave her my spiel saying that like I inherited a bunch of my grandma's clothing. That's when Hermes reached out to me, was flown out to Paris with them, and then became like a Louis Vuitton ambassador, just like the whole spiel.
I just have to point out how wildly inappropriate and disturbing I find this, that someone's saying this to her at a work event. Okay, this is essentially a colleague of yours. This is one of your peers. And you're like, no, what's your niche? Like, why are you here? Why are you interviewing her? Exactly. Why are you the arbiter of who gets to be here? Why are you the decision maker? Okay, you're not. You were invited here by a brand. She was invited here by a brand. She deserves to be here. Okay, that's not up to you. So it's like, what do you mean? Why are you here? Like, to even say those words is crazy in any context. I also find it gross that this creator right here, Olivia Joan, is having to defend herself, like explain herself. Well, I do photography. No, that's enough. Stop right there. I'd be like, okay, you shop for Vogue. You're like, you do all these great things. That's why you're here. You're in this world, right? It was probably a fashion event or something like that. The fact that she's having to explain herself, give a spiel, awful behavior at a work event.
And she like asked me for my Instagram, still had not asked me for my name, asked me for my Instagram and my TikTok, looked both of them up,
Looking somebody's TikTok up and your Instagram up while you're sitting at the table is diabolical. Okay, because you know that she's trying to do an audit right now and be like, oh, how many followers do you have? Oh, so that's how you made it here. What she's trying to do, because she's insecure, is she's trying to look her up and be like, do I have more or less than her? That's what she's trying to do. It's crazy inappropriate.
Looked at my TikTok and
and mean girl. It's mean.
That point only had like, I think like 70,000 followers. Looked me dead in my eyes and was like, that can't be true. You don't have enough followers for that.
That can't be true. You don't have enough followers. Disgusting. I have zero tolerance for people who think they are better than other people because of their follower count. You are a piece of to me. I will never see you the same way. I cannot stand it. It is so disturbing and so disgusting to me.
I'm sorry, this is the first time I'm meeting you and that is what you want to say to me instead of saying, wow, that's amazing, or just being nice. I remember
this makes my stomach turn.
Went to the bathroom, cried to my best friend, and was like, at that moment I wanted to quit, and I was like, I don't ever want to be in these spaces again with these type of people that like, yeah, when you see them online, they are the kindest and sweetest people in the world, but like, and maybe they're nice to people that follow them, but to these smaller creators like myself, they are awful.
Made her cry. Like I said, we're gonna find out who this is in a second. You're not gonna be surprised, I can tell you that. But I just can't get over, like, you're at a work event and you're behaving like this because you think you're more important than the person who's sitting across from you. No.
And that's not even like the first time that that's happened, especially with this influencer. Now she pretends like she doesn't know me, even though we go to the same events like multiple times. We've had multiple interactions and she's been so nasty towards me. All of her little friends equally as nasty towards me, like, are obsessed with these like big people that do have these like aesthetic and perfect lives that like aren't the truth.
It's fraudulent.
And I think that, I'm not saying like, yo, go and follow me, but I'm saying like, give these smaller creators a chance that actually have a personality that seems more realistic and more realistic to your lifestyle and what you want to see. Stop trying to like glorify these like perfect people when in reality they are the meanest girls you'll ever meet.
So immediately I kind of had like an idea of who it is, and a lot of people did as well. So here were some of the comments. They said, it's acquired style, isn't it? And it had almost 30,000 likes. Then another one commented and said, is it that Kit Keenan girl? And she says, no, but close, which I find interesting because remember when she said a lot of her little friends are just as bad and they're just as mean? Interesting. By process of elimination and by confirmation in the comments, we have discovered that yes, it was acquired style. Big surprise, fork found in kitchen, does a bear in the woods. Yeah, this is how we know that it's about acquired style, by the way. She debunked every guest on here except for acquired style and her twin, so it's definitely one of them, and she likes that. I feel like this comment validates it because one of her friends, who's also an influencer, said, I remember you telling me this. I'm so sorry. This whole situation was disturbing, and I think it's okay to be boring, but what's not okay is to act like you're better than other people because you have more followers than them. That is disgusting. That's never okay. It's never going to be okay. It's never okay to be rude to people in a work setting and to try to make other people feel small, make other people cry in the bathroom, make other people feel like they have to explain themselves when they've worked hard to get to where they are. You have no idea what they've been through to be able to get there. And she's sitting across from you at that table. Okay, she's across from you. She's earned her spot at that table. So be quiet. It's not up to you to decide who gets to be somewhere. And she's used to seeing like her literal human centipede sitting across from her. And when somebody else that's there, who got there by not copying other people and being an individual and being authentic, is sitting across from her, she's confused. Okay. And that's why this whole thing bothers her, is because people are waking up to the fact that there's other influencers out there who actually are putting out content that has good value and is interesting and is showcasing the actual city, which is, by the way, the only thing that's making these people interesting in the first place is New York City. If they were ever to move out of New York City, nobody would care about them. I can assure you that. That's the truth. They are scared to death that their audience is going to sober up and be like, oh, I can get some more value at somewhere else. So that's why they're panicking. They are panicking. This is panic mode. Somebody said their only talent is hyper consumerism. So then I saw this video, and the reason why all these people feel like carbon copies of each other is actually a lot deeper than you think it is. So let's take a look at this because this is very eye-opening.
The influencers are boring because they're literally being factory produced. I saw this article in the Wall Street Journal in July. The article talks about how this one woman, Shauna Davis Ross, is behind so many of the influencers you know and love, helping them plan their content around a very specific lifestyle ideal. I mean, look at this right here.
So a lot of these people are in the same management company. To name a few, Kit Keenan, Haley Kate, Audrey Peters, Carly Weinstein. All of these people are literally following the same, as they write in here, the same playbook. Interesting.
Influencer marketing era, but what she's fashioned isn't a monster exactly, but a woman with an algorithmically covetable Manhattan life. Aloe yoga, Aperol spritzes. Here at the bottom, you can see some of the people that she represents at her agency. The article explains that when Shauna works with her clients, she applies almost this factory production method. When taking on a new client, she works with her team to
Factory production method. So everything is fake. It's all phony. It's all contrived. It makes you question, like, what is actually authentic that I'm watching from these people? Because when you see stuff like this, it feels like none of it. And it's just a damn shame because these are people living in one of the most interesting cities in the world, and they're still boring as and they're doing it so they can sell you things.
Build what she calls content franchises. These are posts in a format that are easily repeated, tried and tested, monetizable, and mainly appeal to brands, essentially codifying a formula. Here are my internet anthropology takeaways. I think what we have here is a classic case of the capitalism breeds innovation meme, where things continue to get more and more similar over time as everything is focus grouped into the ground. I'll take number 2. When the economy is doing good, y'all want to see aspirational content. When the economy is doing bad, you want to see more inspirational content. We are now in the inspiration wave, so creators with strong personalities, interesting hobbies, and with focuses on learning will gain traction.
Not good news for the boring influencers of the world, of which there are many. Yeah, and I think that this is true. I think we're just seeing in general a shift away from influencer marketing. I think that it's just not working anymore. It hasn't been working for a very long time. People just don't want to see stuff like that anymore. I don't think people right now want to be sold to. They don't want to see tons and tons of sponsorships. They don't want to be overloaded with things and buy this, buy that. Like, people are just, they're tired. There's been so many years of where that has worked, and I think it's just not working anymore. I think deep down influencers can feel that, and they don't want their lifestyles to change, but unfortunately for them, it's changing.
And we'll probably get back into aspirational creators when the economy recovers.
And yeah, so here's some of their morning routines. I just wanted to show you guys, like, this is kind of, when we talk about, like, this is all engineered, you know, they do the same crap every day. Of all these influencers that were upset about, you know, being called boring, for me to be able to find almost an identical video from every single one of them, literally every single one of them.
Always get ruined overnight.
Slow morning, prioritizing wellness.
Craving a wellness morning, so that's what we're doing today. I have a brand event at New York Pilates this morning. Really just an excuse to take a Pilates class at one of my favorite studios.
Guys, they're wearing the same even outfits.
My class went a little bit longer than expected, so I'm running to Spencer's right now.
Running to go get a massage. This
Gonna
is
go
her
home,
day.
make myself some brunch, get to work. Feeling very grateful that I was able to treat myself to a slower morning.
Here's another one. Morning in my life. Before I have to work, which is like, what's the work that you're doing exactly? Isn't this your work right here? Literally wearing the same exact thing, going to work out, going to the same Pilates class. They're all even using like similar products as well. Getting similar shots, like, and it's you have to look back at this now knowing that they all have the same formulaic approach to content, and you have to wonder, like, how much of this is real? Meetings and filming,
Hi guys,
it's
here
like,
was a
what are you
realistic
filming?
day in my life living in New York City as a 24-year-old full-time content creator.
First of all, every single one of them has used this Neutrogena. They're all sponsored by this Neutrogena thing. But I think what's interesting is, like, you know, these people that say, I'm doing my meetings, I'm doing my filming. It's like they're doing meetings for the sponsored stuff that they're working with and like the sponsorships they're working on. I don't think a whole lot of that is planning what organic videos am I going to do that are free of sponsorships. And I do think that that's kind of a problem personally, because I think a lot of these, like, a lot of their day revolves around how am I going to sell more shit to more people. and it's boring to people. I think that that's objectively boring content, is to watch somebody do a sponsored skincare routine. I don't think people want to see it personally. Okay, so getting ready, work stuff, and then going to an influencer event at night. And then here we go again. Here's another morning routine that looks identical. Here's the sponsored skincare. Get ready with me, going to work out, and guess who she meets up with? Oh yes, that's Hallie Kate.
To last all day long today. So the skin prep today needs to be 10 out of 10. I'm obviously starting with my Neutrogena Hydro Boost Water Gel.
It's very hard to even differentiate between those videos, and I think it's very telling that they all have literally, like, they're all using the same products. Like the original Influencers Are Boring video, where she's basically saying, look, you're boring, you look like you all shop at the same place, you're all pushing the same products, you're all going to the same workout places. I think it was an accurate read. And I think that overall, why they're so offended, once again, is that the truth hurts. So here was another follow-up video that the original Influencers Are Boring creator made.
Okay guys, I need to fine tune my previous video. I don't hate all New York influencers. I am finding a very specific type of quote-unquote New York City fashion influencer to be redundant and boring at this point. And that's not who I see on my For You page. That's not even like a full picture of what New York is, but unfortunately, a lot of the time, the type of person that brands are working with, and I find it to be redundant, and I find it to be extremely boring and played out. And I think it's time for other people to have a seat at the table who add like personal style, spunk, creativeness, like vamp it up a bit. It's time for like an influencer revolution.
I thought this was interesting too, and I thought this was kind of an insightful post. Somebody said, I just want to share that the discourse surrounding that video about boring NYC influencers actually made me evaluate the content I'm consuming, and I'm trying to actively change it. It just made me realize my feed was filled with the same content, day in the life workouts, healthy food, overconsumption, and spending money. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that lifestyle, but I realized I don't want to be bombarded with it and basically just shoving things to buy in my face. I get that's how they make money, but that's all it is. Buy this, try this, be like this. They really are boring and don't add value. So I unfollowed all of them, started hitting not interested more, and went through the list of creators that others have mentioned that offer some more, or at least are entertaining. My fave so far has been Ayana. Saw a lot of people mentioning this particular creator as well to follow, so maybe check her out on TikTok. But yeah, I just wanted to share that maybe others have done the same. So yeah, I just thought that that's kind of interesting, but I think that that's why the Influencers Are Boring video hit such a nerve with them, is because I think a lot of people at the same time kind of had this collective awakening and like this aha moment of there's better out there. There's other influencers out there who are interesting and do provide more value to me and are not just constantly trying to sell me things and are not just kind of doing the same thing over and over. So
what started out as one of the most normal, very typical Friday
Sponsored.
mornings.
Get ready. Guys, I was so excited on today's episode of Me.
It's got 1,000.
I've been looking forward to this all day.
Sponsored. So yeah, I just wanted to show you that kind of quick scroll through her content to show you that a pretty big majority of her content is sponsored. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with doing sponsored content. I understand that that's part of like the influencer economy and, you know, how people make money. And, you know, I'm not saying that that's bad in any way, but I do think that objectively as a viewer, I do view sponsored content as boring. Objectively, I do. And I think a lot of people would agree with me when I say that. You know, you cannot sit there and act surprised and act offended when people call your content boring, when a lot of it, okay, big majority of it is sponsored content. And if it's not sponsored content, it's a morning routine that's basically like, hey, I'm going to work out and, you know, do XYZ. And then my meetings for the day are talking about what sponsored videos I'm doing, or what brand trip I'm going on, or who I'm flying to go see to travel so I could like do a seminar with this brand or this brand, or, you know, it's a lot of this like brand work, which people I think objectively just kind of don't want to see. So you can't really act surprised. I've said it once, I'll say it again. The truth hurts. And a lot of these people, yes, they are objectively boring. I mean, we saw that a lot of them are working with the same management, which was very eye-opening as well. Like it just, you can't even make that up. So yeah, in summary, these people are boring. People are definitely moving away from influencer marketing and like these influencer antics. I think people are just kind of tired of it. They don't want to see redundant content anymore. They want to see more people actually going out and living life instead of like just pushing products. I think people are just kind of moving away from, you know, consumption content right now. And a lot of these influencers need to adapt. So anyway, that's all I have to say for today's video. I hope that you guys have enjoyed. If you want to see more videos like this, I actually have another one coming up on a similar topic very soon. So you might want to subscribe if you want to see that. It's going to be very interesting. I have big plans for that one. So anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you guys in my next video.
It's like the worst day of my life, I think.
Why don't we just start with like removing the hand chain? We could get some low light.
Like, should I dye my hair blue or something? I'm like 5 seconds away from shaving my entire head.
Let's brainstorm.
What if I got a corporate job? What if I pretended to get a corporate job?
What if this is like our message?
Like a hashtag?
Yeah, like hashtag stop influencer hate. NYC strong.
Like, why is that making me cry? That's so